Patrick Mahomes is something special that we've never seen.
That you really like? What is it about competing against him that you really like?
I don't like competing against him at all.
Welcome to American Baller, where we focus on all things NFL. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future videos. Patrick Mahomes is currently the best quarterback in the NFL and has already established himself as the top player at the position in this generation. With the incredible start that he's gotten off to in his career, there's even a chance that he could be the one to catch Tom Brady. He's nearly a fourth of the way through his 8th season in the league and has amassed 29,328 yards, 225 touchdowns, and 68 interceptions. Along with this, he's made 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro first teams, 1 All-Pro second team, won 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 MVPs, and 1 Offensive Player of the Year award. Today, we'll tell the full story of Mahomes' football life from childhood to where he currently stands in the 2024 season. Patrick Mahomes was born in Tyler, Texas, to Pat and Randy Mahomes. His father, Pat Mahomes, was a professional baseball player that spent 11 years in the MLB as a pitcher. During his time in the league, he had a record of 42-39 with a career ERA of 5.47. He spent time with the Twins, Red Sox, Mets, Rangers, Cubs, and Pirates. Patrick was inspired by his dad to pick up sports, and along with being a natural at football, Mahomes was also a talented baseball player as well. He began his athletic career playing baseball and grew up getting to meet some of baseball's greats. According to his dad, Patrick took a natural love for baseball and couldn't get enough of the game, saying, "During spring training, I bought him a plastic bat with one of those little balls and he would never go to bed. He would always want to hit with it. I would lay on the bed and he would hit the ball all over the condo. He basically grew up in the clubhouse with me. When he turned 5 years old, I was playing with the Mets at the time and we went to the NLCS and then the next year to the World Series. During an interview when asked about his time growing up and getting to experience the MLB with his dad, Patrick said, "You're around it and get a lot more practice. I was just having fun with my dad throwing baseballs around." Early on, his dad could never see him being a football player. However, he would go on to make the right decision and ultimately decide to play quarterback. It's crazy to think that we could have seen a world in which Mahomes made it to the MLB rather than being a generational talent at the quarterback position. In high school, Mahomes was a 3-sport athlete playing basketball, baseball, and football at White House High School. While basketball would end up being the only sport he played that he was not recruited for, he was still very talented at the sport. In his junior year, he averaged 19.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 4 steals. If he had put his full effort into basketball, there's even a chance that he could have gone D1 in this sport as well. In baseball, he was named a 2012 preseason underclassman All-American, a 2013 preseason All-American, a 2014 preseason All-American, and a member of the 2014 All-Region First Team. In one game during his senior year, he threw a no-hitter with 16 strikeouts. In high school, Mahomes showed a lot of potential in baseball and was one of the best players in Texas. However, football was where Mahomes would establish himself as one of the top athletes in Texas high school history. Despite only playing 2 seasons as their starting quarterback at Whitehall, Mahomes threw for an incredible 8,458 yards, 96 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Along with this, he ran 1,198 yards and 21 touchdowns in his 2 seasons. All of these accomplishments culminated in Mahomes being named as the Max Preps Male Athlete of the Year for the 2013-14 season. Despite the masterclass that he put on in high school, Mahomes still flew a bit under the radar in terms of recruiting. In baseball, he was the 389th prospect and was deemed a very good all-around talent by Perfect Game. As a quarterback, he was rated 78 out of 100 by ESPN and ranked as the 22nd best quarterback, 132nd prospect in his region, and the 99th best player in Texas. He was a 3-star recruit and received offers from only Rice, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech. He wound up deciding to remain in his home state of Texas and sign with the Red Raiders. One of the major reasons why he committed there was they allowed him to play both football and baseball. Looking back on this and knowing what he went on to achieve, it is insane that Mahomes was almost completely overlooked as a prospect and was only a 3-star recruit. Mahomes would only have one pitching appearance in his college career. He was a reliever, and in his singular appearance, he entered the game in the 9th inning of a 6-0 game against Northern Illinois. He threw 15 pitches and walked 2 batters, hit one with a pitch, and was pulled after that. Texas Tech went on to win the game by a final score of 6-4, and Mahomes was credited with 3 earned runs allowed. While his college career in baseball went very poorly, he began to truly shine as a quarterback. He had to earn the starting spot and would play in half of Texas Tech's games in his freshman season. However, once he finally earned the starting spot, he did not look back. The best game of his college career, and arguably the game that solidified him as a first-round prospect, came on October 22, 2016, when he took on Baker Mayfield in the Oklahoma Sooners. Mahomes was otherworldly in this game, and nothing Oklahoma's defense threw at him came even close to working. He finished the contest with an eye-whopping 734 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Despite this legendary performance from Mahomes, Texas Tech still fell by a final score of 66-59 in one of the biggest shootouts of college football history. Mahomes went on to lead the entire NCAA in passing yards this year with an insane 5,052. However, he shockingly was not even named as a finalist for the Heisman. When his time with the Red Raiders came to an end, he had thrown for 11,252 yards, 93 touchdowns, and 29 interceptions. He finished his career ranking 2nd in touchdowns responsible for and 3rd in total offense in Texas Tech history.
Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes II.
Despite his atrocious game and his only appearance in collegiate baseball, Mahomes was still selected by the Detroit Tigers in the 36th round. However, at this point, it was clear that he had decided to pursue football. As a quarterback, NFL.com gave Mahomes a prospect grade of 6.3 out of 10, deeming him a player who would eventually be a plus starter. He was ranked as the 2nd best quarterback in the entire class. Scouts believed that he had the right build to work in and out of the pocket, elite accuracy, quality arm strength, and put the ball where it needs to be when throwing deep. However, there were some question marks surrounding Mahomes before he was drafted. Scouts believed that he was a bit inconsistent, too eager to throw the deep ball, lacking discipline in the game, and the mechanics of his release. Many compared him to Jay Cutler. When draft day came around, Mahomes wound up being the 2nd quarterback off of the board, with only Mitchell Trubisky being selected in front of him. With the 10th overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs found their franchise quarterback, who would go on to turn the team into a dynasty. Mahomes would begin his NFL career as a backup for Alex Smith. He only played in and started in a single game during his rookie season. In that game, he showed a great amount of promise, throwing for 284 yards and a pick. While this performance left a bit to be desired, there were flashes in which Mahomes looked like the caliber of player that we know him as today. In the following season, he earned the starting spot. While this at the time appeared to be a gutsy move from head coach Andy Reid to give the keys to the team to a player who had only played in one game up to that point, Mahomes went on to prove him right. In 2018, Mahomes would explode onto the scene. He led the Chiefs to a 12-4 record, throwing for 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. This put him on an elite list, joining only Peyton Manning and Tom Brady as the only players in NFL history to throw for 50 touchdowns in a season. This inaugural season as a starter earned him a spot in the Pro Bowl, on the All-Pro First Team, and won him the MVP. In the postseason, he threw for 573 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. However, the Chiefs were taken down in the divisional round in an overtime thriller against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. He followed up this elite season by throwing for 4,031 yards, 26 touchdowns, and a career-low 5 interceptions. He once again made the Pro Bowl. This season in the playoffs, Mahomes and the Chiefs refused to be denied and went on to win the Super Bowl over the San Francisco 49ers. In their Super Bowl winning playoff run, Mahomes threw for 901 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 2 picks. His 286-yard and 3-touchdown performance went on to earn him the Super Bowl MVP. In 2020, Mahomes made another trip to the Super Bowl, this time facing off against Brady, this time a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Many saw this as a game in which the torch of the greatest quarterback in the league would be passed from Brady to Mahomes. However, the GOAT had other plans. The Chiefs fell by a final score of 31-9. While the year ended on a sour note, Mahomes was able to add another Pro Bowl appearance and All-Pro second team selection to his resume. For the first time in 2 seasons, Mahomes and the Chiefs missed the Super Bowl, falling to the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship. However, he was once again named to the Pro Bowl. But in 2022, Mahomes would not be denied. This was arguably his best season to date, throwing for a career-high 5,250 yards along with 41 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. This earned him another Pro Bowl selection, a spot on the All-Pro first team, and his second MVP. To put the cherry on top, he led the team to a win over the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. In 2023, the Chiefs went back-to-back, defeating the 49ers on the league's biggest stage for the second time in 6 years. Thus far through the 2024 season, Mahomes has gotten off to a bit of a slow start by his standards. However, he and his teammates have proven time and time again that when the pressure of the playoffs is ramped up, they rise to the occasion almost every time. As long as Mahomes is on the field and healthy, the Chiefs will be Super Bowl contenders. They have a chance to make history this season and become the first team in the Super Bowl era to win 3 consecutive titles. Individually, if he's able to keep up this generational level of play and keep leading his team to championships, there's a strong chance that he could retire regarded as the greatest football player of all time. Looking back on where he started, the rise of Patrick Mahomes has been truly incredible, going from an overlooked 3-star recruit to arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Thank you for tuning in to American Baller. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future videos.